For this video, we'll talk about doing the parallel finishing process for a 3D file. So here's the same 3D file that I was using for the rough finishing pass before. And if I look at my mop set, here's the horizontal roughing that I did in the first video. I'm going to add to that a parallel finishing pass. And it's already got my region 1 because my bounding box was selected. I'm going to select a 1/4 inch end mill. The smaller the tool that you use, the more detail that you'll get, but the longer the tool path will take to run. I'm going to set my feeds and speeds, and I'll load those from the file. I'll use my exit and entry. We've already talked about that. The Z containment is sometimes you might want to only set a specific depth to go down to. In this case, I'm going to go down to the full depth, so I don't need to set anything here. In cut parameters, I'm going to set how much or how closely I'm going to get to the tool path. Remember, the higher you set this, or the smaller the number you set, the more lines of code you'll have, but the more accurate your cut will be. I'm going to set this at 0 stock, so it's removing right down to it. And then we can get the cut direction, and we can get where to start, and we can also get the angle of the cut. So 0 is going to cut in one direction, back and forth, but we can also turn it around and do it at, say, a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree and really clean the finish up, so we can run multiple tool paths that really get it clean. I'm going to go for a little larger tool percentage. I'm going to go for 50 here, just so that it doesn't take so long to run. Again, the smaller this number, the finer the finish you're going to get. And we're going to make sure our stock max Z height is the stock max Z plus some distance. Then we're going to generate. And so now, if I run just the simulation for this, you'll see it goes back and forth. That's that parallel finishing. And you can see now that it's finished the kind of stair step that you get from that 50% step over. If we went back and changed that, then we could get a finer finish. We can also run it at 90 degrees. We can run a new one so that it goes in both directions. And all those little things will add up to get that finish finer and finer. So if we do real quickly, change the parameters and change this back to 25% and now simulate this, you'll see how much finer the surface finish is here, and it'll especially appear around this circle, the edges of it. It's important to note that horizontal roughing must be run first to remove all that excess stock. So if I post-processed this out, just the parallel finish, and forgot the roughing, then it would crash because it would be trying to cut the full depth of that stock in one pass. So you'll see here it's finished. You can see around this large circle how much cleaner that is, how much smaller the steps are over the cone and down into the dish.